Hi, I'm Miguel Lopez de Leon. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about editing. Editing your manuscript. It's difficult, it's tedious, but it is so important. You cannot skip this step. Let's say you finished your first draft, you've just spent months or even years thinking about it. My suggestion, this is how I do it, it's not right or wrong, just my experience editing, is to walk away from it. Don't think about it, don't look at it for maybe, if you can, a week, 2 weeks, maybe even longer, because chances are you've been thinking about it for a really long time and working on it for a really long time. A break is a good idea, just to give you some distance. Then when you get back to it, read it cover to cover as if you were a reader. No emotional connection. Just try to see if there are any huge mistakes. You're not editing it at this point, you're just reading it. So see if there are mistakes in the plot or with certain characters, or if things aren't coming off the way you want them to, or if things don't make sense, or if it's the pacing slow. Just jot down some quick notes. But for the most part, just try to experience your story as the reader to see if in general everything works. Then you go back, hopefully you've done a spell check, then do a line by line edit. For me, it takes about 2 to 3 times longer for me to edit than it does to write the first draft. You're looking for things like, yes, grammar, spelling, but also you're cleaning it up and you're seeing what works, what doesn't work. If you use a certain adjective too many times, or if you described something too often, if you were repetitive, you're just really trying to clean it up. You go through the whole thing, first line to last line, and then you go back and you do it again. Hopefully it'll be much faster because you already edited it. But you will catch a lot of things the second time around. You'll be surprised. You'll be like, oh wow, I thought I did that. Once that's done, you do it even a third time. And you just try to do it as many times as you can until you can't look at it anymore. And then when it's polished, clean, tight, and you've done as much as you can do with your skill level at the time, that's when you approach an editor, a professional editor. That's when you give it to them. I think the misconception is with a lot of new writers is that you sort of do the first draft, maybe you do a spell check, maybe you do a light editing, and then you hand it to an editor, a professional editor, to fix. And that's not the case. Maybe some editors will do that, but it usually works out a lot. One, it'll be expensive, but it usually works out a lot better if you edit and polish your own manuscript as much as possible. Then you hand the editor an already cleaned, tight, polished piece. You don't hand them something to fix. You hand them something to tweak and add the finishing touches to. When the editor is done, they'll hopefully give it back to you, and usually through certain programs, you can accept or reject each of their suggestions. Now, a lot of those programs also have something where you could just blanket accept everything your editor suggested. I don't do that. I usually end up accepting most of what the editor suggests, but there are certain moments that you don't want touched, and we all know those moments. An editor can be expensive, and if you don't work with an editor or you can't afford one, then you have to really edit your manuscript well and show it to people you trust and who are supportive and positive, and let them read through your manuscript and tell them if you find any flaws, if you find anything confusing or not clear, if you find any mistakes in spelling or grammar or anything, please let me know. You know, don't hold back. It's a hard process, and it usually takes a long time, but you cannot skip this part. And you can't rush this part. Editing is so important. It's where your book really comes alive and takes shape. No, it's going to take a long time. No, it's going to be tedious and challenging. Do it a couple times, not just once, not just twice. Even go 4, 5, 6 times. As many times as you can go through your entire manuscript, the better it will be. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching. Keep reading, keep writing. Have a great day.